And do
So
I say your name right, Ganya?
yes, perfect. Yeah.
Oh, good. And you say you are the opera singer with the soul of a rapper, I see.
Yes, I
That's
am.
what I
Whatever
know.
that means, everyone interprets it a bit differently.
But it caught my eye, and I thought, I want to know more.
Well, I love rap, you know. I like every
Yeah,
music that moves my body or soul. And I
yeah,
like the beat, you know, when you hear it, it's just your body has to move with it. And I like the play with words and yeah, it's raw, it's out there, it's in your face, and it's grander than life. Similar like opera. I really think there should be a symphonic rap, like a rap symphony or something like that. I really
wow,
think there's
yeah.
time for it. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah. I
mean,
Kanye
sometimes
West did something similar, not
really,
exactly the same, but yeah, he did it in New York a year ago.
but I sometimes don't get the lyrics because it's too fast for my brain to understand it, you know. So this is
Yeah,
my problem with the rapping, and then I tend to, when there's a swear word, just catch the swear word.
no, but sometimes you know they also reinvent some words, and there's a lot of creativity to it.
Yeah.
I just
No, so
listened to that. Sorry, yeah.
no. No, carry on.
I just listened to the album of Tyler, the creator,
Yeah.
actually a conductor, André de Rieder. I did with him Mixon in China in Stuttgart 2 years ago. He recommended me this album that I listened to it because he knows I like rap. And it's fascinating. The whole
Yeah.
album is one track. And there are brass section. There's a brass section, flutes, like a lot of classical elements to it. So I'm all about redefining the boundaries between the genres.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very interesting. So, but I'm going to try and listen to this album that you're saying. Just give the name again.
Tyler, the creator, it's his new
Okay.
album.
Okay. So I'm going to
I don't know
listen.
if you would like it, but you know,
No,
it's
but
another
yeah,
form of art.
but you know what? I've been talking to artists a lot about this specific thing is where you introduce something or you tell something about someone about something. So this conductor who told you about it made you go and listen. And I think artists should start talking about this. And what you're saying now, you know, you're talking about something that is special to you, and I think it's these stories and it's these things that artists should share to make people more inquisitive and to make people go and find out about this, you know, and go and listen, and why is she saying this and why is she doing that, and you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, and this is what I'm talking to people, because I think it's wonderful to, you know, to hear all your stories and things that inspire you as well. But now let's hear more about what you're doing at the moment.
Mm.
So
So
where are you at the moment?
I'm currently in Freiburg in
Yeah.
Germany, rehearsing for a world premiere. It's a
Mhm.
new piece by Detlef Heusinger,
Mhm.
a very difficult piece, but we're having a lot of fun.
Mhm.
So yeah, now in Germany till the end of this month.
Okay, and when will this be performed?
When or where?
When?
When it will be at the end of the month, we will have the
Okay.
premiere and then a few performances and
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
So and tell me about your role that you're playing, that you're singing.
Ah, it's very complicated. So this opera is a pastiche, which means it's a travel through time,
Mhm.
also musically. So we have a bit of Gluck, a bit of Handel, a bit of contemporary music that Mr. Detlef Heusinger wrote, some Hoffmann, Tales of Hoffmann,
Mhm.
some Lulu by Berg. So a pastiche, kind of like a puzzle
Mhm.
of different genres, which is also interesting, different characters. So my role is a bit of everything, I would say.
Really?
She's it's a very physical role, very physical. I have to dance, I have to move, I have to be in this cage that is coming from the ceiling and sing in it and dancing in it. And I drive also a little cart on stage. It's a crazy show.
Really?
So, yeah, very physical.
Is it? Yeah, I think I saw the picture of the cage on Instagram. Did you post that? Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. But yesterday we had the first rehearsal on stage, and the cage is going to be hang so high that I don't know how will I be able to sing and not freak out. So let's see.
Oh, so the cage is not on the floor. It's
apparently
hanging.
it's not. Yes.
Goodness.
Yeah, let's see. Today we will do it, so I will discover today.
Don't you need really stability when you stand for to sing? So, and how is that working then?
Let's see. I don't
In the
know. To be
cage?
discovered. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, the ground of the cage is quite stable, but I don't know how will it be to sing in this.
Yeah.
So let's see today, and it's not an easy piece, so we will figure it out. I'm positive.
Okay. Yeah. So, and the rest of the cast, and the rest of the who's conducting this performance?
So we have the Kapellmeister of Theater Freiburg. He will be conducting this, and the rest of the cast is the ensemble. It's a great ensemble from Theater Freiburg. Really fantastic singers. The voices blew me away. Like each and every one of them, they have this amazing voice, and they're great on stage. And it's a really, really good cast, I have to say. I'm very happy.
Do you like these types of operas and these types of works? That's a
You
bit
mean contemporary music?
challenging.
The word that is not to be used, contemporary music, you mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, but do you prefer that, or do you find it very challenging?
I like creativity. Do I like to park and bark, so to speak, just to stand and sing? No. I like to move. I like to be everything that is creative. So yes, everything that is creative, that tells a story, that is interesting, that makes you think, even if you don't like it. But the fact that you thought about it, for me, it does something to you. So yes, I like interesting projects. I like things that are different. Yeah. And I like to dance. So yeah.
Oh, really? Do you have a dance background?
No, I just like it. I like to use the body on stage, to move my body on stage, not just stand there.
Because I spoke to somebody at a soprano also who did a contemporary production, and she said that it's quite different to singing just the classical work, because it's that almost that freedom that you have, or it's totally different. I didn't realize this. I didn't realize that it's difficult for somebody classically trained to just switch over to the contemporary. Do you find that as well?
Yes, it is a great challenge. And I find that in order to maintain the voice, one has to also practice some classical pieces while doing contemporary music. Otherwise, for me, it can affect the voice. So I warm up with Gilda, for example, that from Rigoletto, that has a lot of legato lines and needs a lot of support. So I make sure that while I'm singing contemporary music, I'm also practicing non-contemporary music, because this is the core of our instrument. Because in contemporary music, you often have very big jumps to the voice, very big jumps. And not the stress is not on these long legato lines that you need a lot of breath support for. So it's important not to lose that. So you have to juggle both, but it's not easy, I have to say. Yeah.
Really? So how did you start in music? How did you start singing?
I always loved music. I
Mm.
started playing cello when I was about 6. I joined a Suzuki group. It's a method of teaching the cello
Yeah,
in
I know
groups.
that's Suzuki. Yeah.
Mhm. And
Mm.
then it's a great method. I think I really enjoyed it. And then I added piano because we had a piano in the house and clarinet. So I played clarinet till I was 18.
Wow.
Yeah, I was a real geek. Like, yeah,
Really?
band practices and everything. Yeah.
But is your family musical? Do you?
They like music, but my parents are not musicians. My sister is a musician. She plays the
Mm,
oboe and French horn.
mm,
And yeah, the thing is, I felt that I couldn't express what I was feeling inside with these instruments. And I just joined a choir when I was 16, and it was love at first note. Really, it was clear this was my instrument.
mm.
Yeah,
So this is
so
it. And do you still play the other instruments, or
just the
was it?
piano, just the piano. I don't have a cello and I don't have a clarinet,
Oh,
unfortunately.
okay. Yeah, and it's
But I don't think I was that. I wasn't very good, also,
oh, is
to
it?
be honest.
No, but I think it's also difficult to have many things, and that rather than focus on this one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But tell me on a lighter note, what do you do when you before a performance? How do you prepare? Do you have a little ritual that you do, or what do you do?
Uh, well, I go over the role. I
Yeah.
go over the notes. I always make sure to have my water bottle. And it depends on the role, to be honest. Sometimes I go and eat a burger before a show, and sometimes no, I have
Really?
to be, yes, because sometimes I'm just like, "Ah, I want a burger, so I'm going to eat it, and I want to have a
Oh,
normal life
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
And sometimes you can't. So it really depends on the role.
Mm,
Uh, yeah, just to remind myself that we're not robots
mm,
and try to do our best and enjoy also,
mm.
I
Are
think,
you,
because
yeah, are you, do you tend to be self-critical?
oh, very much. Who isn't? I don't think there's anyone in this profession that is not self-critical.
Mm,
It's horrible.
mm,
Yes, uh, I'm my worst critic, unfortunately or
mm,
fortunately.
mm,
Um, but I've learned to live with it. I mean, I did had therapy for 2 years. I
mm,
had I was very afraid to be on stage. I had a big stage fright, and I would not invite my parents or my family or friends, anyone. I didn't allow them to come to concerts.
mm,
And I would cry after each show, and I could not perform.
mm,
And during my master's year, I went to Aix-en-Provence. This was my first big engagement. And
mm.
when I came back, I said, no, I'm not going to sing anymore. I'm not good enough. I'm
Really?
just not good enough. Yes. I
Mm,
remember I sat in this garden by my house. I was in New York. And I was like, no, my instrument is not good enough. How can I be a soprano if I don't have high notes? I didn't discover my high notes back then.
mm.
And I just decided to quit, to stop, because I'm not good enough. And then I went to therapy.
Oh, okay.
And here we are.
I'm glad therapy helped because
I mean, it's normal. I think for every artist, this is a normal process. It's part of who we are. I mean,
yeah,
you know.
I I I think many times. I mean, or I wonder many times if um this extreme need for perfection, um because I'm just a normal person, so I don't have you know, for me, I can get away, or I am self-critical in certain things, but I sort of, I think I'm so average that I just enjoy things to be. I don't analyze it so. And I wonder sometimes if that prevents people from doing things, because like you say, that stopped you from singing and it stopped you from inviting your friends because of this, you know, very much this drive for perfection. But that it, that it stops maybe not just you, but many, many very talented people from pursuing their career just because of the
Yeah,
self-doubt and the self-critique.
yeah, I agree. So, and I also, I think perfect is boring, to be honest. If I hear a singer that sings perfectly, I'm not that interested. I like the little roughness in the voice
Mm.
or the little mistakes. I mean, I find it real and interesting.
Mm.
Of course, nowadays I'm I don't think I'm even close to perfect. I'm super average, and I'm okay with that. I'm happy with being average. Average is good.
Mm.
And in the end, we are not robots. We should try, and
Yeah,
even if we don't succeed, we will discover something on the way. So, for
exactly.
example, when I approach some phrases that I don't know musically, what do I want to do here? I'm not sure. But
Mm.
I try. Even if it doesn't work, I try because in the end, this is the only way to discover what works or what doesn't work. Um, the most important thing is the perseverance and to just go and do it. And just do
Yeah.
it. And remember, we're not robots, and that is okay.
What I realized also is that artists don't realize that you are all really so unique and so your own person. Because if I think of all the artists I photographed in their windows, and there were many pianists amongst them, and many violinists, and many singers, yet I remember each one for who they were, for that personality. And I think that you bring to the stage, and that you bring in your art, is that one special thing that only you can be on the stage.
It's this humanity. I mean, we're all human beings. I mean,
Yeah.
so not only artists are special, every single person in this world is special,
Mhm.
is an individual. And yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
But now tell me about the costumes of this
Ah!
production, because from what I see, it's also
Well,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah, so there are a lot of costumes, a lot of wigs. It's like a Grammy show.
Mm.
So I have four wigs, four different wigs.
Yeah.
I have a 20s look for Lulu, the Lulu parts. I have uh, beautiful Baroque wig for
Oh,
the
yeah.
beginning. Yeah, we have a Baroque period.
Mm.
So with these beautiful gowns. And then in the end, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but let's
Mm.
not tell anyone.
Yeah.
I have this astronaut suit, which would be
Oh,
really cool with a blonde wig. And it's inspired by this film, Barbarella,
yeah.
from the 1960s. So
Mm.
something similar to that. So it's very diverse.
Yes, but it's so well, it sounds so interesting. And who was the costume designer?
Detlef Heusinger is also doing the costumes. So he's doing the staging and he composed. And he, together with the department of Theater Freiburg, they have an amazing department.
Mm.
They're doing it together, the costumes.
Okay.
Yeah. And today,
Yeah.
actually, after our talk, I'm going for the last fitting. I hope it's the last.
Oh, I see. Okay. Are these
Yeah.
but are they because if you're talking about the space suit, would it be comfortable? Have you tried it on already?
I've tried it on already. It's quite
Okay.
tight. So I
Yeah.
asked to add a little no, Bauchtausch. No, I'm saying it wrong. Like a fanny pack,
Oh,
a little
yeah.
fanny pack to cover the
Yeah.
belly so I can breathe comfortably.
Oh, I see.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, but let's see if I can move and dance in it.
Yeah.
I mean, we will see. But they are so good. This custom department is really fantastic. So they really make me feel super, super comfortable. So I'm
Mm.
sure even if there's something that is not so comfortable, we will solve it. We still have 20 days to the premiere. It's a lot.
Yeah, because that's something we don't always realize, is that you have to think about so many things when you are on stage. You have to think about the props and the costumes, and or that has to fit properly, and then the singing and the moving and all of that. So it's quite a lot to do, and it always looks so effortless. But yet, I think there goes a lot of thinking, and coping with everything in that.
Yeah, there's like a whole choir in the head when you sing, you have to think about how you sing, to look to the staging, the props, as you said, to be together with the conductor, to sing, to project your voice out. Like there are so many things that goes in your head that it's, that's why I think it's also important to remember to have fun, because I mean, we're not brain surgeons. We have to have fun also. Yeah.
But now you touched something interesting. I've been talking to a few artists. There's a master class that they've done now, where the singers and the conductors do the master class together, because they want the singers and the conductors to connect more and to understand and communicate better with each other. Do you how can I say, do you have a good relationship with your conductor in that sense? Do you have the confidence to say something when it's not right, or do you feel it's not a singer's place to do that?
Oh, this is a tough question. Of course, it depends on the conductor. Some conductors, I think this workshop that you talk about is fantastic, because for singers, for me, the most important thing about a conductor, that he breathes with me. He really breathes with me. Now that I did the concert in Grafenegg, the conductor really took breaths with me, and it was so helpful, and I was so grateful. So for me, this is the most important thing.
This is interesting because the teacher that's teaching at this workshop, at this masterclass, actually said exactly the same thing yesterday. She said about the breathing. Yeah. Now you say it as well.
Yeah, it's so important. It's the most important thing for me. Yeah. And of course, if there are not problems, but things that need to be addressed, and you, of course, politely talk to your conductor. I mean, they are also, and I'm not jealous of their job. This is very difficult. They have to make everything come together, help all the singers on stage, make sure everyone is together at the same time. And, it's like they're magicians. They have this baton and they just do a movement and the sound comes out. It's like they're Harry Potter or something. So I'm not jealous of their job. It's a very stressful situation for them. So I think the cooperation of, the instrumentalists and the singers with the conductor is very important. And the better communication there is amongst them, the better the music making process is. Because in the end, we make music together. It's like making love, it's we all come together and this sound comes out together. It's a beautiful process, I think.
It's wonderful that you say that way. Yeah, it's great. But listen, it was so lovely to talk to you now, and I'm going to stalk you on Instagram to see the pictures of the performance because it sounds like an amazing performance. And just and you say it's the end of the month. What is the date of the premiere?
July 23rd is the premiere, and then we have shows on July 24th and 25th.
Okay, good.
And it's the first opera production since Corona for me, so I'm very excited.
Are you? Yeah. Is it nice to have that feeling of being back on stage? Well, you haven't had the audience yet, but you'll probably have that also, that experience soon.
Yes, but the rehearsing part, and just be working, it's a great feeling.
Do you think the spirit is also a bit different from everybody now being back?
I think people are even more appreciative
Really.
People were very appreciative before because it's a very difficult profession,
Yeah.
but now I think there is even more sense of appreciation
Mm.
that we can do what we are doing. I think.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's great. And I think the audience also have a different appreciation, because I think it's now
Yeah.
they also, or we also understand now what we have missed, in this time. So,
Yeah. And it's always good to have a reminder not to take things for granted.
yeah, but it's like that always in life, isn't it? It's only when you lose it then you really appreciate it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now we have it back. So that's great.
For now.
Well, have fun with your costume fitting this afternoon, or
Thank you.
now when you're going. And let me know in the future. I'll anyway have a look when you do something interesting. But let me know if there's something you'd like to talk about, and then we have another little chat. Yeah,
Sure, with pleasure.
yeah.
And I love seeing your photos. It gives so much light. There's such beautiful energy to them.
Oh,
Really,
thank you so
it
much.
made me really happy during the lockdowns. It was such a beautiful initiative.
Oh,
So
thank
thank
you
you.
so
It
much.
really it made me happy. Yeah.
Oh well, that means a lot to me because that was the idea, to cheer up people and to of course also raise awareness to the fact that everybody were still at home. But yeah, I would say it was a very special um, opportunity to meet all these lovely people. So,
Mm.
but now with Zoom, I can talk to you as well and to other lovely artists like yourself. And that is so great to understand what's going on now in the world and what everybody's doing is wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, have a lovely afternoon and I hope to speak to you soon.
Me too. Thank you, Petra.
Okay. Thank